I mean, Clare and Matt, I wanted to pick both your brains on sort of, are there any particular types of transactions or customer segments where pay by bank is proving to be especially effective, do you think? Just building on what George has already said, Claire?
So I'm a massive convert for open banking and very much an advocate. And I think that therefore there really isn't a sector where it isn't applicable. I mentioned earlier that we haven't seen huge adoption in the travel space. That's totally true, and that's because and we've all experienced this with the volatility, shall we say, of flight cancellations and hotels, etc. You don't see the same adoption when it comes to the main payments, but we have seen adoption in travel for deposits, where they're non-refundable and they want a quick mechanism to be able to kind of secure that opportunity and that payment. So we are seeing it expanding and growing right across the different verticals that we support. And it's been predominantly led by those financial services companies like the Money Platform, where there is not only a wider audience or an increase in addressable audience that they're trying to target, but also to create backups and alternative mechanisms for payment, and also to be able to really drive forward those payments where the immediate notification that the transaction is complete is key and the funds are collected in the same time. There was a piece several years ago when contactless first came in and it wasn't processing transactions in real time. It was processing next day, about student remorse because they would spend in the union on the one night and then have it hit their bank account the next day. So that kind of experience and knowing your funding really does translate through and is very much driving adoption across all of the industries that Ecommpay work with. So very broad would be my short answer.
Yeah. And Matt?
Yeah, I'd really tend to agree with Claire that I don't think there are many use cases where account-to-account payments couldn't play a really significant part in the payment mix going forward. Historically, as Claire points out, we've seen that growth in financial services, settlement of credit cards, settlement of loans. Token ourselves have seen some really interesting use cases where credit card companies are introducing intentional debit card friction. One of them has introduced so much that if you want to pay by debit card now, you have to phone them because they recognize the benefits that account-to-account payments bring for them as the business, but also for the consumer. And that is driving adoption. And we're seeing that trickle effect of as consumers become more aware of how open banking works, how safe it is, and the benefits that it might bring, that's bleeding across into other industries. I mentioned the OBL report that came out today earlier. One of the facts that jumped out to me from that was that e-commerce traditional retail transactions are growing at 500%. And that's relatively recent and definitely recognizes that they were starting from a very small user base to start with. But I think we're starting to see that move in the adoption cycle, certainly to early majority from early adopters.
Yeah, we're seeing it in every tender and RFP request that we receive now. It's a fundamental part of the requirement. It's something that every industry and vertical is looking to incorporate and understand the value of, but they are also looking for those advanced features now. They don't want to have to wait for them to come. So again, that's been a really big cultural shift in the business market as well.